go. It's me. I'm back. Hey, y'all. How's it going? I hope everyone has been doing well. If you are new here, I am Sandra Waldrop. You are watching Kingdom Acres, and this is my Fun Friday segment on Craft Around the Clock. We are doing paper bag extravaganza today. All the fun paper bag crafts. So I'm so excited to be on. It's been a good while. We had 1.5 million things going on that just kept me busy. And thanks to the hearts, guys. And it's been a roller coaster. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Miss Tracy. And so yeah, it's been a wild ride. Well, I've been watching some of these paper bag crafts, and if you have not been on Craft Around the Clock to see them, you definitely want to go and check those out. Hi, Lori, how are you? Oh, thanks. They're just awesome. They've done great. Get on over there, check the featured section. They should all be saved in there, especially over the weekend for you to watch at your leisure. I tried to watch as much as I could today. But y'all, I've just been trying to play catch up. You know, when you are out of the house for 10 days with cattle and children and all the fair activities, everything at home just goes downhill. Hello, Karen. Hello, Diane. So, yeah. Anyways, so today, I am taking some inspiration from Miss Brenda, my sweet, sweet friend. She's my spirit animal. I'm pretty sure Miss Brenda is my spirit animal. Totally Together Crafting with Brenda. She is amazing. Hello, Jody. She had done, okay, so I don't remember quite how long ago it was because timelines aren't great when you're so busy, but there was a Fun Friday event where it was all about garlands, right? It was the Garland event, and she had done a garland using paper bags. And I just thought, how cool would that be to do a Christmas themed paper bag garland? So that's what we're going to do today. Hello, Miss Sheila. How are you? Miss Kim. Thanks for hopping on, y'all. So the way you start this off, let me just pull out a paper bag. These are just the paper lunch sacks from Dollar Tree. You get a 30 count for $1. It's got a red dot, so it's $1.25 right now. I don't know how much it will be. I went shopping at Dollar Tree today, and I was like, watching all the things come across the register. I was like, y'all, what happened to the store? I used to be able to come here and get 10 things for $10. What's going on here? Times are changing. All right, so the little bottom part, the little, you know how it's like that, and then you can flip it up, and this turns into the bottom. I'm going to cut that right off where that little crease is right there. And I'm just going to go straight across with it. And that'll leave you with the little bottom. Put that off to the side. You won't need it for this craft. And then that'll leave you with the little crease to put over your line, whatever it is that you are going to have your garland. And then I'm going to just fold it over. I'm not going to crease it. I'm just going to fold it in half like this. And then from this open end, I'm going to cut from the corner back up to the middle to make like a little pennant. Hello, Aletta, Miss Lisa, Amanda, Miss Sandy. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Yes, your bottoms for tags. That's a great tip. It's a great tip, Miss Sheila. So now I've got 2 of these sitting here. You can do as many as you want. I mean, you've got at least 30 in the one bag. I got this set of Santa images. If you just put in on Etsy, I want to say I put in like Prim Christmas, and then I just put like SVG or something like that on there, just so that I know I'm getting the digital images. This I think is like, it's on sale. It's like $2 something. Hi, Manny, Miss Cheryl, Lisa. So really cute images, and if you did all 6 of them, that would give you a really decent sized garland, especially if you're doing like little knots or something in between the little pennants, your little paper bags. That will give you a really decent sized garland. So, all right, I've got my images. I'm going to cut out my first one. I just love this little sheep on here. Look at those. It's got a little cute sheep. My 10-year-old wants to show sheep, guys. She's been asking. Right now we are a show cow family, but they are, like, sheep are just so stinking cute. And I saw a bunch of people showing sheep, showing lambs. Hello, Sandy, Lynn, Gloria. Oh, thanks for watching, Gloria. Welcome in. So, it was my first time actually like paying attention, because she's been mentioning that she wants to show lambs, and they are just so adorable. And I'm like, I'm over here thinking with my Homestead brain, right? I'm like, well, if she showed lambs, then I could get wool, right? I could get wool. I could make yarn. Look at me over here being all homesteady. Yes, aren't they so cute? Yeah, so I'm squirreling over here. Aw, thanks, Sheila. You're so sweet. So I crushed that one. I've got this on here, and that would be cute just as is, but of course, you know, we've got to zhuzh it. So I'm not going to put it on there just yet. What I want to do, I've got me some burlap, and it's not going to be brown. I mean, it's going to have a good amount of brown. Y'all know me. I like the look of brown, but we'll add in some color here and there. I'm just cutting me a good strip of burlap, okay? And I'm gonna go around this, and I'm just gonna see if I can do kind of like the pie ruffle, right? Just to kind of make it go around and give it some texture. So let's see, move my little paper bag off to the side. I'm gonna turn my dude over, and I'm gonna do a little bit of hot glue at a time. And y'all wait for the screams. That's how we know it's working, right? That I've been burnt with hot glue. That's how we know the hot glue's working, is when you hear me scream and say ouch. Because that's what usually happens. Oh yeah, look how cute. Just a little ruffle there going around. And you could print these if you wanted the images to be a little bit more tough, sturdy. You could use some cardstock, or it would be really cool to print these on some fabric, right? And do it with fabric. That would also be a really, especially if it's something that you're kind of wanting to keep for long term, and have for many years, you might want to incorporate that as well. But I love the brown paper sacks, because this is something that you could do, you know, with the grandkids or whatever, and then you can save them, or they can get changed out easily and with very little expense, right? As seasons change and fashion, you know, whatever is in style or whatever you're wanting for your house. I've always been kind of like with this style. I remember when my husband and I were 18, everybody, like all of our friends, had everything like silver and black and glass, like all of their home decor. And that, like, you know, it's just very hip, right? Very hip style. And I was yard sailing and I found this huge like wreath. It was more like a wall piece, but it looked like a wreath, and it was like made out of dried herbs or something. And I remember one of my friends coming over and just being like, oh my gosh, this place is so you, like, because I had that thing on my wall and she was just like, so not cool. But I've just always had that style. I've always had that style. Oh, goodness gracious. It could have been worse, right? Like, I could have had my 18-year-old husband with a bunch of, like, florals and, you know, it wasn't too bad. I held off. I held off a good while before exposing that poor man to all the frill and fluff. He was, you know, we would go shopping and he would be like, look at this. And it would be something black or, you know, just real hip and modern, because that's who he was. And I was like, ugh, what is that? And then, you know, he'd have weekends off and stuff, and I'd be like, let's go to the yard sales. Let's go look at stuff. And he'd be like, okay, let's go see what you can find. And he is just such a good sport. Such a good sport. Okay, just taking off some of those little strays. I like the way they look. Just all, oh, am I upside down? Oh, I was upside down. There we go. Isn't that cute? So now we have like our little coaster looking thing here. And then we're going to take our little pennant here. Man, it's been a while. It feels like it's been a long time since I've been live, because let's see, when was the last time I went live? I feel like the last time I went live, it was well before fair, and I still had a ton of stuff going on. If you saw my post, I had to make, thanks Karen, I had to make a, like, I had to decorate my daughter's stall. And normally for something like that, I would make her do it herself. But y'all, she was incredibly busy. I was incredibly busy. Everything was going on. So I was like, we're going to have to like, just like whip it out. And so we did. And I was pleasantly surprised because it turned out so well. And all I did for that, it was a Wreck-It Ralph themed stall that we did for her cow, and we had to do a 4x4 board. Every stall had to have a 4x4 board, and it had to say her name, her cow's name, and then it had to have like a thank you to the sponsors, right? So we named the cow Vanellope from the very beginning because we knew we were going to do a Wreck-It Ralph themed stall. Like, that's how far in advance we planned out this whole situation. We even named the cow to go along with the theme. And it was like Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and we had to go and decorate on Thursday. And we still didn't have the board. Hello, Miss Denise. Hey, Caffany. And it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had this board in my living room, and I'm like sitting here. I got on my phone. I created a Canva image, and then I got into like this oversized poster board app for printing posters. And I printed it. I printed my Canva image, and then we Mod Podged that to the board. And then I just went over it with paint. It was like paint by numbers. Everyone was like, "You painted that?" I was like, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I cheated." They were like, "Oh my gosh." So some people I let in on the secret. Not everybody, but I did let some people in on the secret of how it was done. Not everybody cares about how it's done, right? Some people just are like, "Wow, that's really cool." A lot of people were really excited about the Hulk hands because where Wreck-It Ralph was standing, we had ordered Hulk hands, and I painted them like skin color and put that. Yes, good thing, right? Good thing I've got that crafting mind going, because yeah, I was able to get it whipped out, no problem. So it was great though. It worked out really well, and I had we had no issues because I sealed the board really well with like a clear spray paint to keep the papers from lifting, because again, like we're Houston area over here, so the humidity is a very real concern when it comes to Mod Podge and paper outside, right? So I really like sealed that thing really good, because we did not want any issues with the paper coming off. Like, how crazy would that be to show up, have the cow there, have people walking through for the fair, you know, and I'm up there with like Mod Podge or something trying to fix the board. Because the board and the decorations of the stall, that's a competition all by itself for what she was doing. So that's how that's looking so far. I think that's cute, guys. Got some buttons over here and some different stuff. We're gonna give it some color and some fun over here. Let's see if I want to use this on this one. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of this like Christmassy. Let me use some of these other scissors. I had my daughter bring me her scissors. Okay, there we go. Because I couldn't find mine, and then right before I went live, I found mine, of course. Thank goodness though, right? Because I don't like not having my scissors. I was like, who took my scissors? I'm always on a scissor hunt around here. You would think, like, as homeschoolers, we would have a ton of scissors and supplies, and believe me, we have purchased so many scissors and supplies, but they vanish. The house eats them. No, oh, Caffany, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm praying for you, doll. That's gotta be hard. It's gonna be hard. Okay, I'm gonna stick that in there. But anyway, so I'm feeling really, really blessed to have 2 pairs of scissors in my midst. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I've got those. Let me pull out Let me pull out some buttons. This is a cute little button. It's a little too funky though. It's a little too artsy fartsy. So we want something that's real primitive looking. I like that. That's a sweet little button right there. Got kids getting ready for bed. One of the girls has a dance tomorrow. They have their homeschool fall ball. So as part of that, I planned for the homeschool community to do like a spirit week kind of thing, with mums and jerseys and, you know, whatever. And so people have been wearing their mums this week. And we did at our co-op on Tuesday. People wore mums or jerseys or whatever they, you know, if they wanted to participate in that. You know, it's not mandatory, but, and then my daughter will go to the dance tomorrow. We also did like a game day last night or yesterday evening. Yes, scissors are like socks in the dryer. Oh my gosh. Yes. You can't purchase enough. You just can't. There's not enough socks in the world for this. I feel like I want to add, okay, that's not the correct color. I want to add some red to this. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, here we go. This is just some crimson red. Crimson. It's a very serious red there. We're gonna give it a go. I don't think I have my instant coffee up here, but I do have some cinnamon, and if I need to do something to it, there we go. That's gonna kind of, the black and the red are, you know, gonna mix and make it much muter. Kind of brown it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of that, give it more color. We'll do red, we'll do green, do a few of these. There. So there's one. My daughter yesterday at the park, she decided that, well, I mean, she didn't decide. Like, it was a given that they were going to be playing games and, you know, being wild and crazy and stuff. Well, we're pretty sure she broke her ankle. So she's hobbling around with a boot on and crutches till we can get her in to see the orthopedic surgeon. Didn't have an opening till Thursday. And I'm very like, we don't do the emergency room unless it's like a life or death emergency kind of thing. Like she's not having a hard time managing her pain or anything like that. So we're just doing what we can at home until I can get her into the orthopedic surgeon. So she's going to go to the dance tomorrow with a boot, her pretty dress and a boot, and some crutches in tow. So that'll be fun. But she's like, I'm still going to that dance. Okay, girlfriend, you go and you have fun. But I was like, but I'm going to be there chaperoning anyways. So she's like, what? You never chaperoned with the older ones. Brother and sister, you didn't do that. Yeah, I know. But it's been a couple of years since my girls. I don't worry about my son because he's a man. He's been a man since he was 14 years old. He's been protecting me forever. But the girls need a little bit more. in my heart, I feel like my girls, my specific girls, need a little bit more of me hovering. So, so I will be attending this dance, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I told my honey he can come with me as my date to the dance. So we'll get to hang out together, and hopefully I can keep my dancing self in check. We showed up to the park yesterday for a little game day, and they were having like a exercise class out there, and it was all dance, and the music was all in Spanish, and these women had like drumsticks, and they were dancing, and I'm like over there all like, you know. And then Arabella, my 10-year-old, she's over there like, you know, we're doing whatever they're doing. We're doing the stuff. And one of the ladies comes over and she's all, do y'all want to join us? And we're like, yes. And so I'm over there in like my everyday clothes. She's over there in her, you know, playing at the park clothes. And we were just doing an exercise class. It was a good time. It was a really good time. But sometimes I think that I am very much a Lucille Ball person. Like maybe Lucille Ball and I were cut from the same cloth. I don't know. Me, Brenda, and Lucille. We've got that wild blood in us. Somebody tell Brenda I'm on here talking about her. Hello, Miss Elizabeth. So, anyways, we had a blast dancing at the park, and come to find out, it's a free class that they do every day at 6 p.m. at the park. And you've got all these ladies out there dancing. My friend who speaks fluent Spanish was like, oh, this music is wild. Because we mostly listen to, you know, Christian music or whatever. She was like, they're saying some really naughty things. And I was like, ooh. But I was like, well, the girls don't understand, so we're okay. I don't want my 10-year-old running around singing songs that have, you know, wild. Oh, they do. They call you I Love Lucy. Yes. Yes. That is, sometimes I think, like, why am I not in a barrel somewhere smashing grapes, making faces? Oh, hello, Sandy. First time watching from Montgomery. Welcome. Welcome. I am also in Texas, over here just south of Houston. As you know, it's winter now in Texas. We've gotten down in the early mornings to the 60s. So we are rolling right along here. I hear Mariah Carey defrosting as we speak. And I had Christmas music playing today as I was in my kitchen cooking lunch and making bread. I made us some bread from scratch today. The kids were all excited. They love when Mom bakes bread. That's always a big deal. They're like, Mom made bread. Announcement, you know, when the kids are announcing. You're all very immature. Listen, what's the point if you're not having fun? Okay? What is the point? And I love Lucille Ball's kind of fun, right? Because it's all very innocent and sweet. Like, she, you know, back before things were all crazy crazy. She's the kind of fun I can really get down with. Love me some Lucille. Love me some Lucille. Okay. I'm just trying to think. I've got this. I didn't bring a ton of fabric over here to the table, so I did bring like my thing of burlap, but I didn't bring like a lot of varieties of fabric. I have my like candy cane striped fabric though, so I could also do that one, but I will likely have to coffee grunge. Use some of that grunginess, that grungy goodness on my candy stripe. I just love the way it looks all ruffled. It's so cute. So we are taking things easy around the wardrobe house for the foreseeable future with my daughter's ankle the way it is. And has anybody, y'all tell me, have y'all ever dealt with talking with the white elephant? Hello, ma'am. Have y'all ever dealt with adrenal dysfunction or adrenal fatigue? I just got some blood work back, and apparently that is what I'm dealing with. I had gone in, and we don't really do doctors unless we really need to. I mean, there are people who have to wait months to see doctors, so I don't like to go in unless we're really needing to see a doctor, right? So I went into the doctor because I was having the sensation that I was struggling to breathe. And I would put on my little O2 monitor, and it said that I was okay, but I would still have like dips and stuff up and down and everything else. And so I went ahead and went in, and she ran blood work, and I told her, I was like, listen, please do not come back to me and say that this is an iron issue. And she was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. Y'all, like the first thing out of her mouth was like, dude, you're iron. And I was just like, what? Yes. Oh my goodness. So anyways, low iron apparently can affect your breathing and, your ability for your body to carry oxygen and blah, blah, blah. And so you're going to feel it. Anyways, I had all kinds of like up and down stuff, but when it comes down to the actual gist of things, it appears as though I'm actually dealing with some dysfunction in my adrenals, which people are like, you really need to slow down. But the thing is, I have like underlying stuff like genetic and autoimmune and, all that stuff. And so Dr. Internet over here, right? We have to research everything. We apparently, like, a lot of these things can be attributed to just like your body struggling for so long. So anyways, I'll be starting a whole regimen on that. I'm very much into like herbal medicines and, like healing myself with like plants and holistic things. And so I'm going to be healing myself with some holistic things. So I'm excited for that journey, and I'm excited just for answers and to feel better and, all that jazz. And my hair, what is happening? My hair just decided to it does that from time to time. You like that? My 10-year-old likes the other thing that I did, the other one. Okay, I'm just gonna even these out a bit, and then I'll pull and pull and pull. Never made that too long. Okay, so anyways, just to update you on all of life's little crazy adventures over here. I want that on the bottom or the top. Ooh, I think I like it on the top. Look at that. There's the top. And there's the bottom. I'm thinking the top. If I do the top up here, I can do maybe something else on the bottom. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to glue this to the top. And try to get it in the middle, Sandra. Let's see what we can do there. Try to get that in the middle. Okay. I got that. And let's see what we want at the bottom. Maybe. I got these at Dollar Tree today. They're just little pine cones and things. It might be too big for, the pine cone might be too big. If I do a couple of them, or maybe like a sprig of this and a thing of that. Might be. I also have a leftover bell here. Oh, come here. Got me some pip berries. Just gonna try it all out and see how things go. I feel like because it's so decorative heavy on the top with that bow that I just want something a little bit lighter over here. So that's what we'll do. I'm just gonna stick this. Oops. I'm just gonna have this coming down out of it. Just a little something, something. A little something. A little something. Okay. Take that end off. I don't like that. Ouch. You ever pinched yourself with the handle of your scissors? If there's a will, there's a way, and I'm gonna do it. That's how I'm gonna hurt myself. If it's not the hot glue, something else will find me. The kids in youth always laugh because they like to play with the balls in the gym. And they know I'm terrified because if there is a ball in the air, it is going to find me and it's coming straight for my head. Every time, hands down, bar none, it's coming for my head. Go. Just another little thing. I'm going to dry brush this a little bit with my black paint on that burlap and around that picture a little bit just to kind of age that a little bit. You could use antique wax or some of your ink, your distressing ink if you have some. What I've got here tonight is what I've got handy, and I'm just trying to get back into the business of things. You know how it goes when you've taken a little bit of time and then you get back on to do some crafting or even just sit down at your table and you're all thumbs. You're all thumbs. You don't know what things need or what's going on. But I do think that's cute. Look at that one. So you've got, those look cute side by side. All about oils. Yes, they do work for a great many things. I use whole plant medicine about 95% of the time. I will use oils, but the whole plant has such it has different compounds in the plant itself other than just the the VOCs that are pulled during the distillation process. So there we go, taking that deal off again. So I do stick with the whole plant as often as I can, just so that I can get those alcohol soluble properties and the water soluble properties, and sometimes, you know, the acid soluble properties, like the minerals and stuff that is pulling. All of that is good, and they have healing compounds. So I have a herbal like chat group. If you are interested in joining that, send me a message and I will send you the link to that. We have such great discussions over there. So many questions being answered daily. And it's not just me. There are many, many knowledgeable people in that group that share information. And, you know, if people ask, and if somebody has had experience with that thing or whatever, then they go ahead and share. So, and then it's just up to you to do your additional research based off of what they share. You know, you don't ever take the word of a stranger and just run with it, you know, because this is your health and your life. But we do have a lot of very knowledgeable people in that group. So it's worth its weight in gold. I'll tell you that much. To be able to just heal yourself. And especially, you know, if you have a doctor who is very high demand. That doctor that I went to, it's usually about a month's wait to get in, if not longer. So if you're lucky, you'll only have to wait a couple of weeks. So I don't want to take up, you know, an appointment spot if I don't really, really need it, because I know that there are people out there who do really, really need it. And not only that, I'm kind of one of those people that I like to know what is in my stuff, right? I like to know what's in my medicine, what's going in my body. So I just picked up, oh gosh, oh goodness. I got some sludge in my green. I'll just blop it out. I'll bloop it out. I don't need much. But I do like to know what is in my stuff. And I just got strawberry plants from our ag extension office. They had them for sale for $2 a plant. So I just got some dry bare roots to plant. I'll be planting those tomorrow. I love homesteading and doing all that. Your doctor is for all natural. Yes. So the doctor I use is she's a functional medicine doctor. So she will do basically whatever you're looking for. You know, like she's not going to push anything on a patient, which I like. Because I have had that in the past, you know, especially when I was young and pregnant and stuff. I've had doctors just really be ugly to me because I didn't want to take something, you know, I'd rather just live with the pain, or, you know. And so this doctor, she sells like peptides and things like that, and she'll help you get testing for anything you think could be going on with you. She's really good. She is really good. But There are so many plants and herbs out there in the world. There is no way for one person to know about every single thing. So, are you good? Rain. Oh, you know what, Miss Cindy? Yesterday, when we were having our sports day or whatever for the homeschoolers, the next town over, it rained cats and dogs. It sprinkled very lightly in the afternoon here, and then we didn't get any more rain. So we did not get a huge turnout at our sports day because everybody thought that it was raining so bad. We, here where I'm at, we did not. Oh my gosh, I only have 2 minutes left, y'all. 2 minutes left. I haven't been watching that time. It's easy to just get caught up in conversation. And y'all know me, I'm a babbler. If you're new here, welcome to Babbleland, because I like to I get on a topic and then I just talk and talk and talk. And then I forget to even look up because I'm just crafting and talking, and y'all are just wondering who is this crazy woman even talking to or about, or what's going on. Anyways, I really hope that y'all enjoyed the craft tonight. I hope that y'all can maybe do something similar with your kids or your grandkids and just make those Christmas memories. Because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I'm gonna switch over real quick. I've been looking at these gooseberry books. These were given to me. I've got a couple of them here. These gooseberry Christmas books. Oh my gosh. If y'all get access to some gooseberry books, let me just show you some of the things in here. Some of the cute little, look at that. Just some cute things. Oh, jingle, look at that. Very cute stuff. Very, very cute. Anyways, if you're looking for inspiration, them old-timey gooseberry books are where it's at. All right, 9:45. I'm going to have to run. I believe there is one more. Oh, thank you, Miss Diane. I believe there is one more crafter. So y'all be sure to go back into Crafter on the Clock, refresh, and say hello to whoever's up next. Sorry, I don't know who it is. Oh, you do, Karen. That's awesome. All right. Well, y'all take care. Thanks again for being here tonight. And thank you for making a homemade home with me today. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.